All right, so since I was a couple minutes late yesterday and people freaked the fuck out, I thought I'd show up a minute and a half earlier today. Uh, I know it was like 15 minutes yesterday, but today it is what it is. I just want everybody to know too, they are still working on my fucking internet. So if I just lose you, I just fucking lose you. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. It should be good. They claim they've fixed some shit. We had a bad hurricane a couple months ago. You guys might have heard about it. So it's still, a lot of places around here still looks tore up from the floor up. But today we're going to talk about how this crazy fat woman thinks that the BMI should just be eliminated. And I mean, she's actually a counselor, which makes her craziness just even sadder. But can't wait to see the delusion of former blue hair from former therapist. I didn't know if she was a former therapist or she's still a therapist or whatever. She shouldn't be therapizing people. That's for sure. I'm just going to keep making up words, by the way. Jillian, how are you? Unique Bori, what's happening? And for those of you that are wondering, I've got some news. I'm going to wait for a few people to get on here. But here is where you can get our new book, Beyond Willpower, The Hunger Management Method. Beyond Willpower is also the name of a stack from Ambrosia Collective of plantoprotein, some different varieties that my list of my favorite varieties is what made it up. It has Ember, which I do believe I even have right here. Ember is a appetite fat burning compound, and it has African mango in it, and it's very high stim. I'm getting ready to take my second half today, even though I'm already still kind of jittery from the first one. So it just is what it is. But it's also has nectar in it, which nectar is an organ support formula that I drink every day and use in different varieties of, but it also has no morbidity. And the really fucking cool news about all that shit is you can get that entire stack now at Vitamin Shop. I just wanted to let everybody know, I think it's super fucking cool. This has kind of been, I haven't even seen it live yet. That's the fucking thing. But to talk about something just fucking a dream coming true. This is mine and Crystal's product that we booked with the Ambrosia Collective. And it's now available at vitamin shops throughout the country in its first run. So if we are out at the websites, but you can get it at most vitamin shops, they will have a couple bottles of it. And they also have nectar, Planta, and Ember, which is the Beyond Willpower stack. We'll be adding to that stack before too long for the complete weight loss matrix, basically with product 2. But I got to be real, folks. I mean, I just wanted to share this. I found out about it a little bit ago. The Mark and Sean kind of called and said, "Hey, we just wanted to let you know this happened." I thought I like the last 2.5 years. 3 years have been very trying, and there was very stressful times where I didn't know if we were going to be able to keep our businesses running because of how we were being perceived, and how and just people not jiving with what I was saying because they're basically stupid lemmings. But to see like this project go from just to go from just like, you know, an idea that Crystal kind of like ran across me, and then we talked to Mark about, to not only it being now sold other places, because this is just the first of many outlets it's going to start being sold at, but for it was to be getting back in, how it's helping like thousands and thousands of people right now, which is super fucking cool. And it will be back. By the way, it will be back in stock on the websites also within the next like probably week and a half. I was on the phone with Sean this morning, so within the next week and a half, it will be back for sale at the websites also, just in case you don't have a vitamin shop around you or something like that. But just to see it at Vitamin Shop, I know it may sound like it's just, that's our fucking product that we have like worked really, really, really hard for it to be there. It's just like kind of like a little celebration for Crystal and I that it's a big thing. It's helping lots of people. This next year is going to be huge for it, like huge for it. And we're very looking forward to it. I'm super excited. For those of you that don't know, No Morbidity is, you can even see it on here. It's made up of 4 ingredients. Oop, there it is. It's made up of 4 patented ingredients at the clinically tested doses: Slimuluna, Garcitrin, KSM 66, and Thinogen. I personally use this product. I use every product in the Beyond Willpower stack daily, almost. The only thing I don't use daily is I don't have Planta protein every single day, just because I use it as a sweet treat off nights. And I've been really, like, as we progress in dealing with my binge eating, we're doing a better and better job where I'm getting farther away from wanting sweet things. So, and product 2, it has glycemic control in it. And so now that I'm on that, I really just am not even that into eating anything sweet right now at all, which is fucking awesome. But I just wanted to touch base with that with you guys. I think it's just a fucking super cool thing that we fucking that we've gotten accomplished. I'm super proud of Crystal and myself and the entire team, Ambrosia, all of them. I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to talk about this crazy chick that thinks that BMI should just be eliminated and not replaced by anything. That's the thing. So, Annie, how are you? Tiffany, what's going on? I hope you're doing great today. Elaine, Elizabeth, Taylor Oz, what's happening? Cookies, Lexican, Dinah, you got a notification. That's awesome. That's rare and awesome. I work in IT. Trust me, they didn't fix it. They didn't fix what? They didn't fix what? I don't know. What's up, Sabrina? Michelle, how are you? Kimberly Gonzalez, what's going on? Erica, pleasure to see you here. M's Fit Journey, what's up? How the fuck are you? Great to see you, Carl. Lacey Shrinks. The BMI needs to go because white supremacy or something. That's pretty much what they say. Yeah. From what I know, she stopped practicing under her license. She is charging a fuck ton for no. I do have her website up. It's kind of impressive that she is not actually. She's advertising that she's a therapist, but if she's not practicing under her license, she is actually guilty of false advertising. Then I will say that. And her coach, like the link for Crystal and I's coaching is right here. We have 2 kinds. We have one kind that is our less extensive one, where we talk to people on a daily basis with weekly video conferences. We help them adjust their lifestyle. We give them, consistent daily feedback and communication. They're a member of the Hunger Management Support Group, which is where I keep track of all of my coaching or all of my training and stuff like that, and my food. We're in it every single day with them. The intensive one is when we have 2 workout sessions virtually via Zoom, like where it's just one-on-one. We coach the person through the workout session at their house. So for her to be charging, I think it's like $85 for a 30-minute session. She's really playing off these fucking weak ass people's like mindset. Like she's got to tell people to feel good about themselves being fat as fuck. I got a news flash. If there was nothing wrong with being fat, you wouldn't need to actually counsel people to tell them that there was. Like, I don't need counseling for being super fucking healthy. I'm pretty fucking happy being super fucking healthy. Me being able to move however I want to fucking move and do whatever the fuck I want to do doesn't require fucking therapy. When you're trying to accept the fact that I'm physically fit without chronic illness that I've given to myself by gluttoning myself does not require therapy. If you have in fact gluttoned yourself into a state of ill health or immobility, or it's coming, and you need somebody to sit there and tell you that you're okay, you are in fact not fucking okay. Silliness. She probably thinks getting rid of the BMI will make her thinner. Probably, possibly. In love with a paladin. It's an interesting name. Interesting. Regretful sins, although it's flawed, it's just a general idea. I'm going to go over my thoughts on the BMI here in a second. Okay. Congrats on getting into Vitamin Shop. That's huge. I like fucking kind of blown away by it from this morning. Like I really like it's holy shit. You know, like 2023 is going to be a big year, which is fucking awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Congrats. Thank you very much. Janet, how are you? It fails to take into account genetics and environmental factors. It does, but so do blood tests and shit like that. So we'll go over that in a second. Quantum Personality, how are you doing? Lady Hawk, what's going on? Peaceful Lifter, Casey, how are you? Do we ship internationally? Both Ambrosia and Tiger Fitness. Tiger Fitness will ship anywhere in the world. We should be back in stock within the next 2 weeks, from what Sean said. At the latest, within the next week and a half. You know, from what Sean told me this morning. So we're just waiting on a third-party testing piece. So if your BMI is 30 plus, you are heavy. I would say that it is impossible to, even for the most serious genetic outliers, if your BMI is 35, especially if you have a BMI over 30 and your waist to height ratio is also put you in a bad category, you're unhealthy. Every fat person's unhealthy. I mean, if you have a big waist and your BMI is high, you are fucking unhealthy. I mean, we just need to accept this, you know, in reality. If your BMI is 30, if you're over 30 in a BMI without working on your health and don't care, you're obese. Exactly. Live chill. That's great to hear. So please, I'm super pleased. Thank you very much. We are very, very happy. Best non-stim pre-workout. Don't fucking use them. So I really don't do the performance stuff. Mark's got a new non-stimulant pre-workout, but I just don't use them. The best non-stimulant pre-workout for me would be like, Mental Jewels for the focus. It's a nootropic. The banana maple French toast is in my pantry right now, along with several others. I tried that nectar. That's incredibly sweet. It depends on which one you get, to be honest. Some of them aren't. I think the one we have right now is, I think it's strawberry basil or something like that. I don't know. Not sure. It's just not that sweet. How's it hanging? Good. Very well. Thank you. It's hanging well. Broke through 335 pounds this morning, 190 from your heaviness. That's fucking amazing. Great job, dude. Okay, so we've got a lot of people commenting. I am going to... Alan, what are your thoughts on the Liver King's apology? Still had me cringing and laughing. I didn't watch the apology. I don't give a fuck about the Liver King. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. Like, some dude that was clearly on steroids lied about being on steroids. Like, I'm sorry. Here's my thing. If you believed him that he was natural, you're stupid. You know, like, I've just got to be. I mean, you're absolutely dumb. I say it all the time. Assume whatever you want. Like, I do. Like, this is one of the reasons why I don't talk about my actual, physique training, anything like that. And this is another reason. Like, I am a weight loss coach. I've used DHEA in the past, estrogen blockers, stuff like that. When my doctor tells me to go on TRT, I'm going to be like, where do I fucking stick it in? I have no problem saying these things to people. But I mean, my thing about dude openly lied. He made a brand off of I'm natural. Look at me, how amazing I look. Here are my 7 or 9 tenants, whatever the fuck he has, to look like him and shit like that. When he's clearly like fucking, he's clearly bullshit and lying. So I haven't watched his apology. I couldn't give a fuck less. I just couldn't give a fuck less about him. I just really couldn't. Anyway, we are going to get to this crazy shit that this woman said here right now. And here she is. Okay. This is, and nobody go give this crazy person any problems on her site, because this crazy person is in fact fucking crazy. She's just fucking, she's a whack nut. this is a person that clearly, like this person clearly fucking does not want to admit to herself that she is in fact wrong. Like, you know, she's clearly morbidly obese and triggered. Okay. But here we go. We're going to talk about this. And
with the BMI,
hang on a second. I got to put it all the way at the beginning. Okay, here we are. And here we go.
Anytime I talk about the problems with the BMI, the most common response I always get is, okay, well, what should we use instead?
Okay, so when people bring up problems about the BMI, it's normally because it doesn't take into account for muscle mass, which for people like me would skew the results, or people with serious genetic outlying. She went for women. That argument actually works against women because women have a naturally lower lean muscle mass than men because of the different hormonal issues. Because unbeknownst to most woke fuckers, there is actually a difference between men and women genetically and physically. The other ones is that like it was tested on it was made by a mathematician. Well, as a newsflash, people, doctors don't actually do the fucking math when it comes to their fucking studies and shit like that. Most of the time, it is done by a mathematician. Now, I know that they're saying it was done with all, you know, like white men. I agree, but in reality, the data that is collected based off of the BMI for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades after that show that it is a rather amazing predictive tool on a population level basis for chronic illness, disease, and life expectancy. So the reality that it is useless on an individualized level, I can understand some like some fucking issue. Like again, you know, I'm a big waist to height ratio, which she'd be fucking massively morbidly obese waist to height ratio because she's built like a fucking fire hydrant, but a fat fire hydrant. This is this is a good one. I'm a black woman. My muscle mass and bone is still lighter than the average 5'11" white male you're being compared to. That would absolutely mean that like the BMI would be more predictive for you. You know, like as you have lower muscle mass, you should have a lower body weight to accommodate that. Even though there's also the argument that women sometimes do have a higher body fat range, but if you look at the 10% the 10% that could possibly be in body fat range to be healthy, it's 10%. So that's not really going to put you any closer. Like, I mean, women should still likely, be in the 25 to under 30 range to be considered healthy. But I hear what you're saying. But the problems with BMI are that it doesn't take into account people with large frames and musculature. Like I know that when I am fully dieted down, when I'm at like sub 10%, I weigh around 182 pounds, 180 to 182 pounds. And technically that puts me like as a 26 BMI. So I'm slightly overweight. Still, like, because I believe between 20 and 25 is of normal weight, 25 to 30 is overweight, 30 to 35 is obese, 35 plus is morbidly obese. So I carry around a good bit of lean mass on me still, like over 160 pounds. And like for me, it would be a skewing, and that's why again I will say that I'll go to waist to height ratio at any given time, especially for myself, because I got like a 28, 29 inch waist compared to being 5'9", 5'10". So I'm actually almost thin, like almost considered exceedingly thin for waist to height ratio. So I'll take that shit. We're going to listen to her a little bit more. Here we go.
And the
And any given fucking time, by the way, Hannah, if you watch this, you want to come on live and debate about the shortcomings of the BMI, we absolutely can. And then we can discuss waist to height ratio, because she's saying what should you replace it with? We should replace it with a waist to height ratio. The waist to height ratio is actually shown to be more predictive than even BMI when it comes to. It's actually shown to be even more predictive that when it comes to chronic illness, disease, and stuff like that than BMI. So that's absolutely what we should use.
answer is nothing. Get rid.
So nothing. I don't like. We're gonna like look past an arbitrary number. Like they take your height, they take your weight. For most things, like why it's literally just an equation based off of your height and weight. Like, does it damage your weak ass, fucking frail, fucking almost empty ass head so much that it can't be even said or spoken? That's fucking ridiculous.
Get rid of it and replace it with nothing. We literally don't need it. If a
Yeah, you
patient
do. Yeah, we do. As a general guideline, it's absolutely needed.
needs to be assessed for an illness, doctors use diagnostic testing to do that.
Yeah, and one of those diagnostic testings is your fucking weight. So if you already have your height and you already have your fucking weight, guess what? The BMI number exists no matter what. It's just a matter of equation. Like, that's the fucking thing. Like, I mean, it's equation. I mean, it's two variables that are taken, that whether you do the math or not on those two equations does not make it any less of an actual fucking number in existence. There's people, like, it's this weird thing. Like, they're going to take your weight. If you're ill, they're going to take your fucking weight. You know why? Because being fat is fucking bad for you. You fat ass. I mean, what the fuck? And they already know your height. Like, if you're at the doctor, like, and because you're sick, you're concerned about them doing an equation with your height and weight together, because you're already fucking sick, dumbass.
If a patient has an illness, the doctor will treat that illness.
And for a lot of times, the treatment needs to be weight titrated, which they need to take your weight, and shockingly, they have your fucking height. So therefore, the number exists whether you do the equation or not. But the fucked up thing is, and this is what people like her don't like to admit, is that it is predictively true that people with higher BMIs, in fact, need more health care because they are, in fact, less fucking healthy. Ta-da. It's just this.
Medications need to be dosed based on weight. There are formulas that already exist to calculate those dosages. If a doctor...
Yeah, I mean, and they require your fucking weight, and they already know your height. So therefore, guess what? The BMI number exists. You not calculating it. You're fucking, like, literally intellectually retarded brain, not understanding that number exists no matter what. It doesn't make you less of a fat ass if we don't do the equation. It doesn't make you destroying your joints any fucking less. It doesn't make you any more healthy when you're a fat ass by not knowing your BMI, because indeed you are still a fat ass. You are still fat as fuck. Right? The denial, the ignoring of it is just, society needs to stop coddling. We're coddling this woman by saying don't replace the BMI because it made you feel some kind of shit, because that's what this is. This woman claims to be a therapist, and this person needs therapy so fucking intensely, it's crazy. I mean, well, she's crazy, that's why she needs therapy intensely. But I mean, the number still exists. Like, you not doing the fucking calculations does not change shit. The number still fucking exists. It's just ridiculous. You're fat. Newsflash, you're going to be fat, whether we do the calculation or not. You're still fucking fat.
doctor wants to educate a patient about the benefits of health promoting behaviors, they can and should do that with all their patients.
Yes, they should with all their patients. It should be thoroughly explained to all of their patients that being at a BMI of 30 or above does have a much higher propensity to the person developing chronic illness disease, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, liver disorders, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, osteoarthritis, neuroinflammation, systemic inflammation of the lungs, COPD, cognitive imbalance, cognitive issues and diminished capacity, the increased prevalence of Alzheimer's and dementia, the increased prevalence of foot amputation, lower limb amputation, the higher prevalence of stroke at a young age, everything from skin infections, from fucking fat folds and shit like that. Like, I mean, you lose the argument with me to say I'm healthy and I don't need anybody to tell me I'm unhealthy when you literally have to clean between fat rolls. Okay. Like you lose the argument there right away, you know, like just be real. Like you don't get to fucking bark back. Like you don't need to tell me about the BMI when in fact, you know, a huge portion of your job when you are, caring for yourself is cleaning between your fat folds. You just don't. So sorry if this is a little raw today, but this woman aggravates the fuck out of me. She speaks at such a tone of condescension, such amazing, stupid shit. I can't even get over it.
Is no medical scenario where the BMI or any tool like the BMI is the most effective, most specialized tool for the job.
No, you're right. That doesn't mean, you don't use the fucking tool. Like the most specialized tool for the job for diagnostics. Like you realize how ridiculous you fucking sound. Like it is called diagnostics for a fucking reason. They're trying to find out what the fuck is wrong. So they don't know if it's so specialized. They do know it is a contributing factor. You dumb fuck. Look at that face. Like at all? No, don't take my weight. No, like, Jesus.
None. We already have systems and tools in place to.
Yes, the BMI and waist to height ratio, they are in place. They're absolutely. The only difference between this one and taking your blood pressure when you're fat as fuck is in fact that you don't like the fucking BMI. That the BMI makes you feel like some kind of bad way about yourself because you are in fact very visibly a fucking glutton. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you can't take somebody telling you you're fat, you are going to have a hard time in life because you fat. The BMI, all that does is tell you that you are at such a level of fatness for your height that you are increasing statistically the chances of you developing an unavoidable lifestyle chronic illness, because 90% of type 2 diabetes is avoidable by lifestyle change. 80% of all cardiovascular disease is avoidable by lifestyle change. We are in a society where people such as this woman, who are literally campaigning to ignore their fucking fuckery, are in fact massively more susceptible to clogging our healthcare system disproportionately due to her need to face fuck herself with food every day. How raw is that, people?
Meet whatever a patient's specific health needs may be.
The BMI is extremely flawed. It doesn't take into account muscle fat ratio. Did you miss the little beginning portion of there where that argument actually works against women, right? You realize that, right? Because women have lower muscle mass than men. It works against women, okay? And it is incredibly societally and on a population level accurate when it comes to predicting chronic illness, disease, stuff like that. Incredibly. So it is as flawed as like EKGs and shit like that. Because while it doesn't tell the whole story, it tells part of it. It literally tells part of the story. You just logged on, okay? Not, congratulations, you look dumb. BMI works for 99% of people, not like Hannah is an elite athlete. I mean, exactly. Like, I don't mind BMI, and I'm one of the people that it doesn't work well for. You know, like fucking ridiculous. This woman's waist to height ratio is probably 0.7. She's sickly on just about every fucking factor.
Categorizing and pathologizing patients based on weight is and has always been lazy medicine.
Lazy medicine. Okay. Thank you. What is that? Some obese. Don't think you two like. I don't give a fuck. Smell like rotten flesh, skin folds, infections. It could be, and that's actually a true thing. It's a very, very, very true thing. That it could be a hygiene thing. So I guess the smell and the skin folds. Yep. BMI told me I'm fat. Mirror told me not to listen. I mean, exactly. You know, like, I mean, go by your waist height ratio. Like, the thing is, if you are told that you are obese by the BMI, take your waist to height ratio. If you're also obese by waist height ratio, you're fucking obese. Like, I mean, there's multiple different ways to look at it. You know, I mean, there really, really is. Let's see here. Yeast infections are also super common in skin folds, and they're very dangerous. They are super common, and they're extremely dangerous. Like extremely, extremely, extremely dangerous. Yeah, the lazy person calling medicine lazy. I know. Fucking, I laughed. The doctors look at you, so the BMI makes sense. He won't mistaken you for skinny. What? Yeah. So, hi, Anna. I'm happy to finally catch a live. Just wanted to say you have encouraged me to lose 30 pounds in the last 3 months. I also just purchased Ember, and I'm on my second day. Outstanding. Great goddamn job. Thank you so much. Whenever you go to the Ambrosia Collective, use the code capital M, capital F, ING, capital C, capital O, capital O. It'll give you 5% off too. So I appreciate you. Finally, my waist to height ratio and BMI agree that I'm in a healthy range. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. There's many tools in the toolbox. Use them correctly. I mean, that's the thing. Use them all. It's fucking crazy to not use some, you know. Went from a BMI of 39.5 to 26.4, living my best life right now. Mama Lozy, great motherfucking job. That is out fucking standing. That's fucking awesome. Great goddamn job. Let's see. Why are people so offended by the BMI when they do the calculation and find out their numbers? It's not like they are forced into a fat camp. That brings up another thing too. I'm going to take us over to my Twitter, and if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, you should be. What the fuck's wrong with you? But we're going to go here, and there is a thing going around. Where I basically I'm amazed, okay, because there is a study that just got released that from the Daily Mail. Fucking stupid, just stupidity. And it is paying obese people to cash to lose weight doubles their rate of fat loss. Just fucking no. Just absolutely motherfucking no. Absolutely not. I absolutely 100% not. They're found offering morbidly obese people in New York and Los Angeles $750 in cash. Over a 6-month period of time. So what were the different financial strategies? Cash linked to behavioral changes, $150 in month one only for registering and attending half of the weight things, $60 a month, $30 in the study for filing the last 5 days, $20 a month. Fuck this shit. Like, why should the concept literally that we're going to pay people not to fucking burden our society is fucking asinine wrong. It is complete bullshit. There's no way I can see where healthy people should in any way have to assist in paying for this with their tax dollars to fucking help people, incentivize people to lose weight, so then they don't, like this one dude, this moron. I'd much rather pay, and by the way, Kevin Dalton, I'm calling you a moron. I'd much rather pay someone to get healthier than pay needless billions in healthcare costs. So I responded back, how about the people that stay healthier pay less than those that choose to glutton themselves to societal burden? Encouraging weight loss by paying people so privileged they can already afford and have access to enough food to eat themselves into societal burden is idiotic. Kevin responded back, spending millions to save billions is the opposite of societal burden. Why should we? And this is where it gets. I'm open to any ideas you have. Why should tax dollars be used to pay people to not glutton themselves into societal burden? Why should there be a reward to get healthy paid in part by those that stay healthy for their health? How about personal responsibility and liability for lifestyle-driven illnesses? Of course, he gets upset. So no ideas, even though I gave an idea, by the way. I said, my idea is personal responsibility to not glutton oneself into societal burden and individual liability for any expenses incurred for preventable lifestyle-driven illnesses. Insulin for type 1 diabetics, paid for by insurance. Type 2, due to lifestyle, paid 100% by the person. I'm sorry if this sounds cruel or mean or whatever. If that sounds cruel or mean or whatever, you are, in fact, in my opinion, of course, a pussy. And literally don't understand the fact that we should not have to be subsidizing people getting healthy. This person said, gotcha, that's a nice idea, but you understand that's essentially what we've been trying the past few decades, right? Perhaps we try something that doesn't cause hundreds of thousands of deaths a year and billions of dollars in healthcare costs. By the way, $2.7 to $3 trillion a year spent on healthcare expenditures already. We already pay fat people enough through shared healthcare costs and burden. That's my stance. We pay them enough. Our healthcare costs are skyrocketing high because people glutton themselves, smoke themselves, and drink themselves to societal burden, begging them and paying them to, in fact, lose some weight that they're just going to gain back again, to be paid again to lose weight, will not help them. If we all of a sudden make them solely responsible for their lifestyle-driven, their fucked up lifestyles, they will fucking change, or it will be a problem for them. It'll be their fucking problem. We have not been trying personal responsibility for avoidable lifestyle-driven chronic illnesses since the inception of shared insurance costs. It has been decades that the healthy subsidized unhealthy outcomes of unhealthy actions of others. I mean, it's been forever. And then the last one is, I don't disagree that people need more personal responsibility. I just don't see the process for making it implementable. But I am open to an actual plan. The actual plan is to make lifestyle-driven avoidable chronic illnesses the direct and sole responsibility for those that systemically abuse their bodies for over a long period of time. The expenses should be paid 100% by the individual, their actions, their money. And I mean that. I know it's hard for people to understand, but I absolutely fucking mean it. Like, there in no way should all of society, like, the incentive for people to lose weight, paying people to lose weight, when in fact they should do it for themselves, their family, society anyway. Like, fuck that. Fuck that in a big fucking way, for real. People will take advantage of the system, which will in turn cost it's not going to lower healthcare burden. All it's going to do is pay some people to weight cycle. They'll lose some weight, then gain it back. These people, like, we're acting like $750 paid over 6 months is going to be something that's going to help most people anyway. These people glutton themselves to the point where they need to take insulin on a daily basis, medications. They need to come out of pocket, their own pocket, in order to fucking, pay for like the premiums and the co-pays for shit. Plus, they glutton themselves. Like the food bills alone are crazy. No Morbidity is saving people hundreds of dollars a month on food bills because they're eating less fucking food. Their food bills would go down. They could save more money than what they would get paid and be healthier just by fucking being healthier. Like people glutton themselves to literal getting their feet cut off, and then they still eat that fucking way. We need to address food behaviors. We need to address food addiction. We need to treat sugar like it's alcohol, like it's actually an addictive substance, because clearly in our society, we all know it is. We all know it is. Yet we give it to kids every goddamn day for breakfast. We know it is an actual like addictive fucking drug, just about. We need to treat all of these things this way, and then we need to make it so that it's not so incentivized to be fat as fuck. It's just the acceptance of being morbidly obese in society. The acceptance of there's nothing wrong with being fatter. Yes, there is. You burden society. There absolutely is. If for no other reason, if you don't give a fuck about yourself, and if you eat yourself to 300 pounds and aren't trying to change it, you don't give a fuck about yourself. You should seek some counseling to find out why you hate yourself so fucking much. If you don't give a fuck about yourself, you're burdening society. I mean, you are burdening society. You are, in fact, ingesting way more food than you fucking need, which puts extra waste in the environment. It's not even an arguable thing. And then you are, in fact, gluttoning yourself to a state of societal burden when it comes to healthcare resource usage and healthcare expenditure. The normalization of obesity, which I warned about for years before we actually reached this point, is in fact killing society. It's killing our society. It's the obesity and chronic lifestyle-driven illnesses is the number one problem in our society. I can debate anybody about this. It is literally the reason why we were able as a society to be literally shamed and scared into giving our fucking rights away 2.5 years ago. I had so many people say when I was like, it's just a cold, I'm not going to fucking lose my freedom for a fucking cold. Oh, you don't care about people? And I would respond back, it's elderly people that are normally pretty isolated already because they have multiple conditions, and or people that have gluttoned themselves to a state of ill health through their own action. Why should my life have to alter because they fucking couldn't say no to ho-hos? And they'd be like, you know how many people that is? We are so sickly as a nation, and nobody did shit about it. So many people said that to me 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. You know how many sick people we have, how many fat people we have, as if I didn't fucking know. As if I didn't fucking know. I literally have a book about obesity, 2 now. And then people are saying to me, like, oh, well, we have so many fat people and so many sickly people, like, too many people will die from this cold. If you're a fucking 30-year-old and you've gluttoned yourself to the state where a fucking cold virus that is normally hard on, elderly people that have the average age of 78 to 80 years old and 4 serious comorbidities, if you've gluttoned yourself to the frailty of that person, maybe you get what you get. These are the people that do the dying. And we know this. And we've in the last 3 years, we've pushed that obesity is just perfectly fine. Even more, like fucking talk about crazy fucking bullshit world. Like we literally lock down society because we know we have so many sickly people, and then we're gonna fucking fatten ourselves up even more. Fuck that shit, crazy ass motherfuckers. Reparations for healthy people who have paid for those unhealthy. I fucking like that idea. We all pay for fatness. We do. This is wrong. Can you explain how this works here in my country? The state doesn't offer much help for people who don't work. How much is an obese person paid? Just wondering. Well, they would be paying them $750 over the course of 6 months to lose weight. But we already subsidized their existence to a tremendous fucking degree through shared healthcare expenditures and government paid healthcare, like to a tremendous degree. The carrot is what. The question is, what carrot are you going to use to drive morbidly obese people to want to make change? Us not pay for their health care anymore. Pretty fucking solid carrot. Us not to fucking accept it in society. Us to view it as the illness it is. Them to have to bear the brunt of their poor healthcare lifestyle decisions. That's my carrot. I'm not, there shouldn't, we don't like, I'm sorry, but pretending that everything's okay and actually being super, ooper, duper nice to people and not wanting to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, that's what got us here. That's what got us fat as fuck. It's time for people to fucking understand that if you develop a chronic lifestyle-driven illness from systemically over a long period of time, fucking with your health, you should pay for that out of your pocket, 100%. It should be an extremely encumbersome thing for you instead of all of society. The focus needs to be prevention. Exactly. I completely agree. Not just shared healthcare costs, also our tax pounds are going towards these disabilities. I completely agree with that too. Half of the money should be for mandatory therapy. I can follow that. Don't get me started out here in Canada. Yeah, you guys are fucked. You guys got a fucked up system. There is 100% mental health aspect to this. Binge eating in itself is often an escape or a method to tolerate, avoid distress. Then they should get help for it. They should get help for it, pay for it out of their own pocket, and fucking not burden society. Go ahead and call me mean. I don't give a fuck. I'd support lifestyle exclusion version of universal health care. Emergencies happen to healthy people, and it benefits our society to get them back on track. Fatties, yep, I can see that too. Binge eating is absolutely a coping mechanism. I know because I've used it as a coping mechanism before, and so have I, but it was my responsibility to adjust it, just like it was your responsibility to adjust it, and you did. Like, I mean, that's the same thing like drinking is a fucking coping mechanism for a lot of people too, but it's on them to control their alcoholism. We don't just pay them not to drink, you know? My uncle had both his feet amputated before he died, and he kept drinking full sugar Coke. Sad. Fucking sadness. They can change the BMI however they want. That won't change the fact that being over 250 pounds, that's my thing too, you know? The fact that there are now Hazelines therapists is dangerous. I would agree with that. Very, very, very much so. Very much so. People need to realize how extra fat on their bodies affects their mental health. And well, I mean, the inflammation, everything like that too. It causes cognitive issues. What are they censoring? What are they censoring now? I'll view it. Crazy. I thank you very much, Julian, for checking those things out. And yeah, hit them in the wallet. Like, make them pay for this shit. I mean, what the fuck? I don't get it. Marcel G, trying to find a therapist for food addiction in my area that isn't intuitive eating is insane. That's a big problem. It's a big ass problem. But it's what I keep saying. The healthcare industry does not have any vested interest in you getting better. Like in your therapy, most of the time your therapist does not want to cure you. Your therapist wants somebody to fucking be coming back and for the comeback, you know? Make Allen head of the Department of Health here in America. I'd fucking take that job. I really would. They totally hijacked what intuitive eating is. Intuitive eating is really not a thing except if you're an athlete, if you ask me. People should be mindful about how they eat. Mindful eating is what helps people. So, all right, guys, ask questions, anything like that. I just want to let everybody know too, by the way, that I do have another video today at 5 p.m. I'm going to do a review of Blair White versus fat acceptance review. She did an interesting, very, very, very interesting very interesting video or segment of a video from her podcast that I wanted to go over. So, and I'm a big fan of hers. So, somebody just asked if No More Bitty is back in stock. It is not at Tiger Fitness or at Ambrosia yet. Should be about another week and a half. But here is where you can get it at Vitamin Shop, because just if you missed the beginning and portion of this, we're now in Vitamin Shop. So fucking excited. I can't even get over it. Holy shit. It was a fantastic episode. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Blair. I'm a big fan of hers. So, being a Hayes therapist just means you encourage behavior which further exacerbate your mental health problems. Exactly. It's fucking craziness. It's absolute crazy talk. All right. So anybody ask questions? Anybody? Bueller. And then again, by the way, you can get my new book, or our new book, Wine and Crystals, because we wrote it together. Beyond Willpower, the Hunger Management Method. It goes very well along with No Morbidity and Ember and all those things. I talk about those in detail. I am actively already starting on our third book, which is going to do with sugar addiction and product 2 on how to use it and other compounds to help yourself escape sugar addiction. So we're going to be putting that out hopefully within the next couple of months. I've already started writing it. I wrote a little bit today. But please do check out the. Oh, let me go to this pin message. Check out the links for the book. With the book, by the way, you get a month of the app. You're in the Hunger Management Support Group for a month too. So please do check that out. I appreciate all you motherfuckers. All of you. I appreciate y'all. You guys are fucking excellent. Love you motherfuckers. Anyway. Vitamin Shop, congrats. Thank you very much. Yes, I can go up the street to buy Nomo. Thank you very, very much. Please do. Buy away. We want them to be very happy that they picked us up. Very, very happy. Let's see here. They try to tell me I still have an ED because I don't think getting fat is just wonderful. I'm not fat and I'm glad. I'm not saying you don't have an eating disorder, but I'm saying that that you realize that being fat is bad for you is a positive thing. So, is dropping 15 pounds in a month too much or too fast? It depends on your starting weight. If your starting weight is 350 pounds, I would suggest that 15 pounds in a month is right on in there. If you weigh 150 pounds, 15 pounds in a month is likely too aggressive. You would flag to CMS if you were a hospital patient. 10% weight loss in a month would absolutely your file would be up for review. Put it that way. So it depends on the person. When it comes to your clients dealing with sugar addictions, do you find the majority do better when they quit cold turkey, or do most solve the addiction by doing it gradually? Honestly, the most lasting success is when the person can finally get to the point where they just quit cold turkey. We do have some supplements including berberine that we use to help with it, and No Morbidity. If you have a very serious sugar addiction, we have something coming to help out. Again, product 2, but it is very hard. Sugar addiction is very, very hard. Sugar addiction is just like addiction, except it's everywhere. So we have people that have done it both ways, but the vast majority of very successful people that have been off sugar, she's not in the chat, but we have a client that is in the chat all the time. She hasn't had anything with sugar in it in like a year and a half, and she was very addicted. So she quit cold turkey, and it was sucked for the first month for her. What strategies, recommendations do you have for sticking to an eating plan during a 5-week vacation? 5 weeks of vacation is a lot. Sticking to an eating plan, I would still 5 weeks of vacation, it's not really like vacation. You're just off work. So if it's just if you're traveling for 5 weeks, that's tough. I would focus on 1 meal a day for pleasure, and then the rest be very, very mindful, protein, healthy fat likely only. If it's 5 weeks of vacation, I would still just kind of treat your food like your food. And again, to a great degree, I can go away and I'm still going to eat most of the time vegetables and beef. A well-cooked steak is amazing. Not well done. I like mine almost raw. but like when it's seasoned well and it's cooked right, it's awesome. Stick with salads, stuff like that. But once a day, if I'm on vacation, I'm going to have something for pleasure, and just realize that like you don't need to go hog wild. Oftentimes, when people overindulge on the first couple of days of their vacation, they have less fun anyway because they don't feel well. I would like to see any fat activists work in the field of bariatric medicine for 1 week. Right. I mean, please. Question: are you going to do another call-in show? I really enjoyed hearing. Yes, it'll be sometime this week. I'll be posting that up too. But yes, I'm probably going to do a call-in show once a week. So, because and for if you're watching and you hate me, please do feel free to try to call in. As long as you show your name and your face, I'll let you talk and we can have discussions. I don't shy away from that shit at all. So. If you can't win at the game, change the rules. Exactly. It's been 18 months since I had refined sugar. Jessica, this is who I was talking about. She's done an amazing job in the last 18 months of quitting sugar. I've lost 10 pounds on no morbidity in 1 month. That is fucking amazing. Great goddamn job. Make sure you're getting enough nutrients in. Make sure you're getting enough. That's absolutely important. And in April, if you, I will send you your copy of the book here in a second. So watch V-Shred's call in. He could call in. He can absolutely, and any of them could call in. I am not like these other fitness bitches. Okay. The thing is, I believe in what I say. I understand what I'm talking about. I will go live and debate anybody on my talking points. Anybody on the science behind anybody. I will debate anybody. Because I believe in what I say, and I've heavily researched obesity, food disorders, losing weight, controlling hunger. And I have literally used fucking, I've coached over 1,000 people to weight loss personally, not to mention people that have taken my advice online. I have no problem talking live to anybody about any fucking thing. A big reason for that is if I don't know about it, I'm willing to say I don't know. Where most fitness bitches end up fucking talking like they think they fucking know everything. I die if Tyrone calls in. Well, if somebody can figure out how to work it for him and he can get him online, somebody can set it up for him. I'm sure he would need a little help, but I mean, I'd talk slower for him. I would just talk very slow, use one syllable words. Syllable is 2. So, but I would probably lose them there, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, it's been almost an hour. Whoop, hang on a second. Alan, I know you have coaching, but do you offer in-person personal training? I'm already pretty fit, but I want to push even more. I really don't do in-person personal training. The closest we're going to get is we have our intensive type of coaching where we will virtually guide people through workouts, but that's the closest I'm going to get. Can you give me advice on how not to binge? Absolutely. I talk to people about that every single day. You could join the app and get a consultation, and we could talk through your individualized thing. Besides the normal tenets of make sure you're staying well hydrated, eating foods of a low glycemic index most of the day, treating sugar as if it's alcohol, ultra processed carbohydrates should be viewed only for pleasure. And you're getting proper sleep and getting daily habitual healthy activities. I outline all of this in my book, Beyond Willpower, the Hunger Management Method. So you could get that, read it. That would help you out. And then you can ask questions based upon it from there. So Recrutia, I would suggest you buy the book. It will give you the app for a month and you'll hear more about it too. Yes, it's 5 weeks traveling at home, very carb heavy food. By the way, I have lost 100 pounds. And don't want setbacks. If you've already lost 100 pounds, it's going to be carb heavy food. I would lean more towards trying to find where you can get proteins at it. I can at any, like literally at any restaurant or anything like that, I can find something that I can eat. So thanks for another great live. You are very, very, very welcome. Bye. Thank you very much. Good. And Tyrone is somebody I used to do some comedy videos about, Leona. But hey, guys, I'll be back at 5 p.m. today. Please do check that out. But I got to run for right now. I hope everybody has a great motherfucking day. God damn.